Robert Scott over with the Big Bear Tours Report, and if you can hear my voice, it's very important that you listen carefully to this message. I know this is extremely scary for all of us. It's been 10 days since the sun went out, 5 days since they came. We're all cold, tired, and hungry, but please, for your own safety and survival, it is imperative that you listen to these following words. Whatever you do not...
Welcome to Big Bear Lake, the premier Southern California tourism destination for skiing, fishing, hiking, mountain biking, and so much more. In this video, we'll provide information about dining, lodging, special events, and of course, family fun. We'll also discuss weather reports, what to do if facing harsh conditions, and in the unlikely event of an emergency, our trained and friendly staff will ensure a safe and smooth procedure for you and your loved ones. Now get out there, grab your skis, and prepare for the experience of your life.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to 10 Candles. This is a horror tragic RPG. We have a few guests on with us tonight, and it should be a really good time. For those of you who don't know, the premise of 10 Candles is that the world has gone dark. There are a few pocket survivors existing in different places, and by the end of the game, unfortunately, every single character you see on screen will be dead. So I'm sorry, guys. As you can probably tell from our intro video, the setting of this game is a small bed and breakfast lodge in Big Bear, California, where we have 4 survivors hanging out during the apocalypse. I'm going to let each of them introduce themselves. So would each of you please tell me your name, your character's name, their virtue and vice, and then for fun, since this is a period piece and we are taking place in 1987, go ahead and give me your character's favorite song from 1987. So Nick, let's start with you. Go ahead and introduce your character.
I'm playing James, or Jimmy, Danger. He is a guerrilla documentary maker who got his start filming the new wave punk bands of Los Angeles, and then decided to move on to a more difficult subject, and is now trying to capture footage of the elusive Bigfoot in Big Bear. Didn't want to be known as a one-note kind of guy, so he's really expanding. His qualities are brave, and the flip side of that is he can be a little bit reckless. He definitely is not afraid to suffer for his art. Was there anything else? Oh, this song. Going super on the nose, his song is I Want to Live by the Ramones.
So my character, her name is Barbara, also goes by Barb or Barbie, which we explain a little bit more later. She's a classically trained dancer. She is in Big Bear because she wants to be a Laker girl, and there's a conference happening at this lodge. And so she's really interested in meeting someone in the hopes of getting on the team. The best quality of her is that she's truthful. However, she's extremely vain, especially trying to be a Laker girl. She really wants it and thinks she's the best. And the song that she loves is I Want to Dance with Somebody by Whitney Houston. And of course, because she's a dancer, she wants to dance with somebody called the Lakers.
Nice.
So.
My character's name is Willow Beauregard. She is a pretty famous author. At least her first book has been pretty famous. But she has no idea what her second book's going to be. So she came to Big Bear and hopes to perhaps figure that out and maybe her publicist and her book company, because they are kind of on her for her next book. Her virtue is intelligent, and then her vice is she's insecure. And her favorite song is Devil Inside by In Excess.
Hey, I am Benji Green, and I am a conservationist. I'm in Big Bear because I'm out looking at all the environment and pretty much seeing that people are destroying everything in Big Bear, and I want to make sure that I'm advocating for all the nature and everybody, and all the nature and peace for the environment out there. My virtue is faith. Very faithful guy. Pretty much wants to see the best in almost everything. But my vice is envy. So we'll see how that turns out. What is it? My favorite song of 1987 is going to be Rock Steady by The Whispers.
Nice. The characters find themselves in a small bed and breakfast in Big Bear called Llewellyn Lodge. It's kind of a hidden gem. It's maybe about four rooms total, plus a room for the owners. Each room has its own guest bathroom attached. There is a large central quarters that contains a living area as well as a kitchen. The owners are named Carl and Geraldine. They're both in their mid to late 70s, and they've owned this place for absolutely decades. It was here that you were all staying when the world went dark. Originally, people thought that things would return back to normal quickly. The sun had gone out mysteriously, which no scientists could explain, but they said it was some kind of anomaly, but just the sun had to come back. It's just a matter of time, and everyone should sit tight and wait. Well, that was 10 days ago, and you all have been surviving off of rations within this lodge. And luckily, there is a generator attached to this bed and breakfast that you all still get to have power. So you do occasionally have radio and television and things like that. There is a television in the central area that has an attached VCR. There hasn't been any broadcasts on the television for about 5 days when they came. Now, who they are is very mysterious. Once the world went dark, whatever they were began stalking people in the darkness, and people have been disappearing, and bodies have been showing up mangled and torn apart. And luckily, you all have managed to survive within this lodge. We have 10 candles. So we're going to have 10 truths. I'm going to it's in the rules, so it's not like I'm being merciful or anything. Each player gets to name a truth about the world. It could be about the lodge that you're staying at. It might be about the Big Bear location in general. It might be about something that your character knows that no one else knows. The only thing it can't be about is it can't be about them. You cannot define any traits about them. Pretty much everything else, though, is fair game. So, the world is dark. And Nick, what is the truth?
This all took place in the middle of forest fire season, and the whole forest might as well be a tinderbox.
Every lodge has a weapon.
We have enough food for at least another week.
We have a AED medical kit.
What is that? Because
so pretty much defibrillator.
Okay. The truth I'm going to name is you all have been using gasoline from your vehicles. You've been siphoning it out to power the generator.
I have enough batteries to film whatever I need to film for this adventure.
Water is scarce.
We still have firewood if we lose the generator to keep us warm.
We got tons of firewood.
And no water.
Are you gonna burn the forest down, Nick?
Did anybody say that we have matches?
No, but you just did.
We have matches.
About to burn.
All right. And then the final truth, let's say if we can all say it together in 1, 2, 3, and we are alive.
And
We
we
are
are
alive.
still alive.
Okay, cool. I'm just going to ask what each of your characters is doing, starting with Jimmy.
Jimmy is sitting next to multiple ashtrays that are brimming with cigarettes as he chain smokes and looks over footage on his camera, rewinding and fast forwarding, trying to find something. He knows there's something in there that can explain this, but he just can't find it. He's obsessing over it.
Barbara is in the corner. She's in a space that has nothing around her because she's practicing the tryout dance routine for the Laker girls. So she has her Walkman on. She hears nothing. She doesn't care who else is around her. She's just in the zone, just doing her dance.
So Willow's pacing back and forth. There's like a big picture window in the lodge, and just pacing back and forth, and every once in a while just staring out there trying to see if she can see anything.
Benji, he's just sitting down in the chair. He's actually reading a couple of his animal books, just trying to see, just to learn about the nature or the native species of big bear.
Nice. Carl and Geraldine are there in the living area as well. Geraldine is serving up soup again. It's been soup for quite a while. Soup for days, literally. And Carl is sitting down in front of the TV, watching the newly released VHS tape Top Gun. It's about the 17th time that it's been playing over the past 5 days. So I hope y'all like Goose and Maverick.
Word for word.
It is right about that time. If you didn't before, you do now. It is right about that time when the power shuts down and you all find yourselves in complete darkness.
All right, guys, I have a couple matches. Do we want to set a fire yet, or are we gonna save a couple in case?
What's wrong with the generator?
Oh, we do have that generator.
We need to hurry up and figure this out because I have to practice. I'm going to be a Laker girl, so figure this out now.
And wait, where is the generator?
You know that the generator is located outside of the lodge, kind of around the back. There is a back entrance that is probably your shortest distance. You have to go out the back and then around the corner, and it's on the wall to your left.
Who's been maintaining it?
Carl's
out of
mostly
gas?
been maintaining it. And he goes,
I think we should talk to... Okay.
he goes, damn it, I just filled that up.
Yeah, Carl, maybe you spend more time monitoring the generator and less time watching slow motion volleyball scenes. We'd have some light right now.
Hey, it's not my fault if I got a need for speed.
Come on, Carl, let's go check it out.
Okay. He looks over to you and he says, well, I could use the company. And then Geraldine says, here you go. And she goes into, pulls the kerosene lantern that you all have been using when going outside and hands it to Carl. And Carl says, actually, Jimmy, would you mind holding that? It's kind of hard to be working on the machine while trying to hold the lantern as well.
Sure, thanks, boss. Whatever.
Jimmy, I'm going to need to make you roll our first check. So, go ahead and do a normal roll. And successes are anything that's a 6. You just need 1. And any 1s are removed from the dice pool until we blow out a candle, in which case all the dice that represent a remaining candle are returned to you. So go ahead and make that roll.
All right, here goes nothing.
First roll of the game. 2 successes. Hey, good.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice.
And because you rolled 2 successes, you have full narrative control. So you can describe what happens as Jimmy and Carl go outside.
All right, so you see this odd couple, this older man in a checkered plaid shirt, and Jimmy, this 20-something with spiky green unwashed hair and safety pin through his nose and leather jacket with patches on it. And Carl leads him to the generator, where Jimmy points out, "No, look, the gas is right next to it. You must have set it down last time. You didn't even fill it up. Come on, man. What kind of place are you running around here?"
He says, "That's so weird." He kind of looks it over a bit. I want you to go ahead and give me a second roll to investigate the generator and see if you can find the cause for what's wrong with it. So again, give me a normal roll. All right, you have a success.
Some success.
You have one, and that's all you need, and no failures. So go ahead and describe what Jimmy finds is wrong with the generator.
So it looks like some chipmunks had gotten in there and chewed through the wiring. Not enough, though, that you can't just sort of, twist it together and throw some duct tape on it, and it should be fine.
All right, you point that out to Carl.
There's a fried chipmunk corpse next to the generator. Still warm.
Food.
He says,
Yeah.
"Ugh, do me a favor, don't tell that Benji guy about this. I think he's sensitive to wildlife. But
yeah, whatever, Carl.
Would you mind going inside? And I think there's some electrical tape in in one of the drawers over in the storage room. If you can't find it, just ask Geraldine for help. Would you mind going and getting that? I'll be out here. No muss and both of us freezing our asses off."
Sure. Watch out for chipmunks. So James kind of comes through, kicks open the door, and, "Hey, Geraldine, where's the electrical tape?"
"Oh, I think it's here. You can go through the cupboard and there's the storage room back there. If you want to go take a look for it, or I can go try to find it."
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
"All right, no problem. It's always a pleasure to help out a guest." She pulls out a flashlight. It's one of those big, bulky ones, like the 2 double D batteries. So she pulls it on, flicks it on, shines a big beam of light, and she kind of disappears into kind of the cupboard area. Benji, Willow, Barbara, what are any of you doing?
Barbara's still sitting in the corner because she's upset because the lights are not fully on. They keep flickering. And so she really wants to just knock out this thing. And so she's just tapping her toes, looking at Jimmy with frustration of can we hurry this up?
Nice.
He gives this kind of look like it's them, it's what can I do? These old people, they're crazy.
I'm nervous and worried about him being up there by himself. So I go check the door, see if I can hear anything. And then kind of question Jimmy, you left him out there by himself without a light?
Insisted.
There's a light in here?
Yeah, there's a light. He's fine.
Benji is looking at the fireplace, wondering why we can't use the fire from the fireplace instead of the generator that's easily just creating so much carbon dioxide and putting that into the air. I hate to see it, but I'm trying to get over it and not really think too much about it.
You know what? Let's go ahead and have Benji make a check to see if Benji, you said you have some matches. So give me a roll to see if you're able to light this fire at the fireplace. All right, you rolled 3 successes, but you also rolled 2 failures. So if you want, you can use your virtue or vice to re-roll those.
I'll take my chances. I'll let the roll stand.
Okay, so you're down to 8 hit die. I'm playing the wrong game. What are they called? I guess they're just called dice pool. Okay, so you're down to 8. Willow, please roll me a check as you kind of go near the window to check on Carl. Okay, you have rolled 0 successes and 2 failures. Now, usually, if you don't roll any 6s, that is a failure, but because you rolled some 1s, you can use your virtue or vice to attempt to re-roll. You just got to roll the 1, so you only get 2 dice. But if you'd like to use one of those, let me know. And let me know narratively how your character uses that.
I mean, I'm just checking. I'm not doing anything. So I think I'm just going to let it stand, that I don't really see anything or hear anything as I'm checking on it and not re-roll it.
You're going through that window.
It
Then
begins.
that is going to be a fail. We're going to blow out our first candle. And I will tell you, before we start establishing truths, you hear a scream come from outside. Let me go ahead and blow out our first candle. Willow, because you're the one who failed the check, the truths begin with you. We have only 9 truths to establish this time. What is the truth?
I think I'm even more, I've been nervous. I'm even more nervous now than I have been in the past, 10 days or however long I've been kind of baseline keeping it together, but I'm starting to really freak out now.
So a truth is all the bathrooms in the lodge are clogged.
All the
Oddly
soup.
specific. Yeah. A lot.
What's happened to you recently?
All right, my truth. The scream sounded like Carl.
Somewhere in the hours and hours of Jimmy's footage, he has captured one of them on film, but no one has seen that piece of footage.
There is a freak snowstorm that's headed our way in the next 3 hours.
In the middle of summer?
Yep.
Man,
Once
you
in a
did say
lifetime.
freak snowstorm.
It is freaking crazy.
Did we establish that it was summertime?
I said it was forest fire season,
Okay. All right.
but
Cool.
she said freak snowstorm, so
It is a freak snowstorm.
freak
All
one.
right.
yeah, it makes it even creepier.
It wasn't really a chipmunk that destroyed the generator.
Nice.
It was a squirrel.
No, it was not a woodland creature.
Benji.
A little while back, Benji did notice something out in the distance, which is why Benji's reading up about the native species of big bear.
Wow. The truth is, speaking of this, the freak snowstorm, it's freezing cold outside, below freezing weather.
In the summer?
Yeah.
Freak snowstorm.
There's no sun.
All right. And final truth. 1, 2, 3. And we are
And
alive.
we are alive.
Woo,
Better that time.
team.
Yeah, good. All right. So you all just heard that scream come from outside. Sounded like Carl. What do you do?
What was that?
Check
Did
out-
anybody hear that?
Yeah, that was crazy. Honestly, I'm like, I think that might have been Carl. Like, what do you think, James?
I mean, it sounded like him, but should we go check?
I don't know. Willow, are you okay over there? Do you think we should go check what's going on out there?
I am not okay, but yes, I think we should probably check. We need to figure out if he's okay, if he's by himself out there in the dark.
Okay.
James grabs his camera and heads towards the door, filming.
Jimmy, since you are going to be in the lead with this excursion, go ahead and roll me a check, a normal roll.
I mean, we have an expert in these things, about the natural world. I think maybe he should. I got to be behind to capture what happens.
You know what? although I am a conservationist and I know I've been studying all the native species here, you've already been outside. I don't even trust that generator. I'd rather burn the wood.
All right. Suffer for art. He pulls out his camera and kicks open the door and makes his way outside.
All right, I just want to clarify, Benji, are you staying inside or with the fire, or are you going out with him?
I'll stay in this time.
Okay, cool.
With your
Jimmy, go ahead and please make me a roll.
Oof.
Oh my
Oof.
gosh. All right, that is 3 failures. You do have your virtue or vice that you can choose to reroll if you would like to try to reroll that and see if you can turn some of those failures into a success.
I got a lot of ones, so I'm going to go ahead and use Brave.
Okay.
So he begins to, as he steps out, he begins to doubt himself and start to get a little afraid, but he pushes past it and presses forward.
Okay, let me go ahead, and you are burning that virtue. So just go ahead and scratch that off. You can no longer use that virtue to re-roll anything, and you are out of re-rolls until we regain a candle. Go ahead and make your re-roll.
Here we go. Ah.
All right. That is a failure. So you step outside, you see that the kerosene lamp that had been used is lying cracked on the ground. It's out, and as you kind of shine the light around, you don't see Carl anywhere. Let's go ahead and blow out our next candle. I'm going to start, and then Jimmy, you name the first truth. So, the world is dark.
Carl is still alive.
Since it is summer, no one has snow chains for their car. So this freak storm, everyone's going to be driving without snow chains.
I think Carl is alive. I won't undo that, but Carl is injured.
There is a flare gun inside of the lodge.
Where Carl should have been, you look at the ground and you see some blood splattered across the grass.
And my truth is the reason we all paid so much for this bed and breakfast is because it's up on a hill or a mountain, actually really high up. So everything is sort of downhill from where we are. There
is a water source that we can use, but it is 20 miles away.
We're at our final truth. This final truth is always the same. I'm going to count us down. 1, 2, 3. And we are
still alive. Worse that time.
Nailed it.
Okay,
I'm still alive.
Okay, we're down to 8 candles. That is where we are. Carl is gone. You see a little patch of blood. What do you guys do?
Can we see, like, I kind of shine the light just to see, like, there was that splatter. Is there blood anywhere else to see if maybe he walked off anywhere, just to kind of get the idea of a direction he went into?
Hey, Hellhounds 20, thank you for joining and following. You would like to check to see if there's any blood anywhere else around?
Yeah, to kind of maybe see if we can figure out where Carl went.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and please roll me a check. All right, you got 2 successes and just 1 failure. I'm rolling my die. Oh, look at that. I got a success too. But you have more, so you maintain narrative control as you get to describe what you find when you look to see if there's more blood in the area.
Okay. So the splatter you see, and then there's like a trail that almost looks kind of like drag marks a little bit. And it's not snow just yet, so it's still just on the ground, so it's a little hard to see. But it kind of looks like there's some like blood drags kind of towards the woods.
What do you guys think happened? I mean, we heard him scream. Like, what do you think?
I know what happened.
And what's that?
Sasquatch.
This guy.
I knew he was going to say that.
No, hear me out. Hear me
No,
out.
no,
Every
no.
year, people go missing. No explanation. I'm talking about the North American skunk ape, Bigfoot. He's out there.
Find blood when that happened. This is like he got hurt.
Like, I don't believe in any of that. It has to be like a mountain lion or a bear. Like, this is Big Bear for, like, come on, guys.
Carl, I yell out.
If you'd like.
Coral.
You're going to make a call out to see if Carl responds. I think this is going to have to be a check.
Here goes nothing.
All right. You've succeeded with 2 successes. I just rolled 1 success, so you maintain narrative control. You can describe what happens after you call out for Carl.
Nothing at first. A good 10-second goes by, and right when someone's about to break the silence, a blood-curdling scream is heard about 50, 60 feet into the thick woods. Freezes everyone in their tracks.
Guys, I think we should go inside.
How much did we like Carl?
I mean, who's going to talk to Geraldine? Not it.
I'll
So-
tell her.
Can you be sensitive? You seem kind
Of course. I'm an artiste.
I don't know. I don't believe him. He believes in Sasquatch.
Yeah, let's not mention that to Geraldine, but we should probably tell
So
her
it
what's
is
going on a little.
56% of Americans.
I don't believe those numbers.
Well, let's go tell Geraldine her husband is in trouble.
A good idea.
He's got the camera still rolling. Like this is now a part of his documentary. Barbara, I'm not going to lie to you. We think Carl's in trouble.
She said.
We're going to go out there.
Go
ahead.
I thought I just heard some more screams. Is that Carl? Is he? What do you mean he's in trouble?
We think that he may have been grabbed by a Bigfoot and taken into the woods.
Tell her that. No one believes this.
Don't necessarily think it's a Bigfoot. Jimmy does. It's something. There was some blood, so we think that it's pretty serious.
Blood?
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a bear. It can be a mountain lion. Like, all those things exist here. It's definitely not a Sasquatch.
I haven't seen a Sasquatch around these parts in 30 years, so I think they're long and gone.
Oh, God.
There's no
Hurt you?
Sasquatch. Let me tell you, it's probably a bear, and I really want to see one of these days. And it's probably just a bear walking around. You know, it is nighttime. I think it's about to snow, so they're probably trying to find somewhere to go hide.
Well, if you want to see one, now could be your chance. We were just about to get weapons and head out in that direction.
I would love to. Yeah, no, let's go.
All right, Boy Scout. You lead the way.
All right, I'm going to ask who wants to make kind of a scavenging check to see what of aid you can find in this cabin. Barbara, I think you had you established the truth that there are weapons in here. Would you like to go ahead and make the roll?
Sorry, guys. It's going to happen.
My rolls have been garbage, so I was not gonna volunteer.
I only have 8 dice left.
All right.
3 successes, 1 failure.
Nice.
And I did not succeed, so you have full narrative control. What do you find as you scavenge around looking for anything that could be of value as you're about to go walking into the woods?
So Barbara walks down into what looks like an office behind like the registration desk. She looks and opens a cabinet and sees there are all kinds of different weapons, from mace, bear mace to be specific, as well as a couple shotguns. And she also sees an emergency kit that's available.
Okay, cool. How are you guys gonna divvy this stuff up? So you find some. Hey, thank you, that Dugan, for the follow. Appreciate it. All right, so just to recap, you found some shotguns. You said you found some bear mace. What else? Some kind of kit, like another first aid kit or something. Would you say
Another first aid kit that has like all the good stuff. So I think Kevin or Benji said that there was the AED, which is the respiratory thing. So this is actually like the gauze and all that stuff.
Okay. How many shotguns specifically did you roll? I mean, did you find?
I found 3.
Okay. So you guys have 3 shotguns, some bear mace, and a first aid kit that you have found. You still have just the 1 flashlight.
And the camera has a light, so that's a little bit of light, right?
The camera also has a light on it.
So that has
My
the-
weapon is my camera, so I don't need a weapon.
Also
You
the
guys take
camera-
the weapons.
Well, Barb grabs a shotgun.
So do I.
I'll grab one, I guess. I don't want to shoot an animal though.
I mean, you can always get mace if you need it.
I'll take the mace instead. I'll carry the shotgun for someone else.
All right, and who took the first aid kit?
I guess I'll take it because, I always have a backpack with me. So dancers have everything.
You all are going to go ahead and begin making your way into the woods.
I will
Believe the-
Benji. He knows everything about the outdoors.
Yep, trust me. Believe in me, guys.
I go ahead and hand him the flashlight to make it easier so that he has a light source as well.
Thank you for that. I guess I think do we have everything that we need? We ready to go, guys?
I mean, as long as we got our things, we should be good. Should we just tell Geraldine we're about to head out?
All right. Hey, Geraldine. We're actually gonna head out. Do you need anything before we get out or before we leave?
She thinks. You can see that she's in a little bit of a state of shock about her husband, Carl, disappearing. She's kind of gone just a little catatonic. She says, "No, I'll be fine, but you tell me if you need anything, because I'm always happy to help a guest. Good
Well,
luck."
we should be back before the snowstorm.
We'll be back really quickly, honestly. We'll make sure to bring your husband back to you, safe and sound.
Go ahead and please roll me a normal check. By the way, you know what I forgot to do? Barbara, I should have asked if you wanted to try to use your moment when looking around the cabin.
Oh, don't worry. She has other moments.
So that, I believe, is a failure, but you did roll one that if you would like to, you could burn either your vice or your virtue to try to re-roll it. But you only get 1 die, so you only get 1 chance. If you let the die ride as is, we're blowing out another candle.
No pressure.
I will use my virtue.
Okay, what is your virtue?
Faith. So I believe that we will go through a safe journey. I hope that we're able to find Carl the way that hopefully he's still alive. And yeah, I want us to all come back in one piece, guys. Let's make sure we get out there and do the best we can.
Thank you, by the way, to the person who just joined. I didn't catch the name, but it was Nurse Kelly or something like that. Thank you for joining. All right. Go ahead, and you are going to burn your faith vice as you are going to make that new roll. So you're going to, this time, do a re-roll.
All right.
And go ahead and scratch off. That's a failure. You begin to head out to the woods, and you see something. You catch some kind of shadow of a creature. It is in the sky, and it seems to have 4 wings. Its body is about human-sized, and the wings are probably about, it's hard to tell, but about 6 feet long in wingspan, and it is flapping towards you, and you hear, as it lets out, a screech as it heads towards you.
Does it have red eyes?
Yes, of course. And red glowing eyes, in fact.
Okay.
Barbara screams and she's getting ready to pull out the shotgun, but thinks again of not shooting anything.
What was that, guys? What on? I've never seen a creature like that, so big, and it looks so majestic. But I'm so nervous. I'm like, is this like a unknown species that I've never seen before?
Guys, it's flying towards you. Someone needs to make a check to see tell me what your plan is, because this thing is closing distance very quickly. From the treetops to you is about 200 feet, and this thing is flying at a fast velocity.
Dive out of the way.
Okay.
Dive out of the way as it gets closer.
Jimmy, please go ahead and make me a check.
Yeah, there we go.
All right.
Like a roller over here.
I did not roll more successes than you. You have narrative control.
So as we're kind of talking about it, Jimmy just shouts out, "Get down!" And he kind of pushes everyone down. And this thing comes right over. You know, the wind from the flap of its wings, we can feel it on the back of our necks as it just passes right over us.
As it passes over, just specify, where does it go? Is it still hovering around you? Does it fly
It hovers
away?
above us, like 10 feet above us, for a good 12, 13 seconds, and then goes straight up.
Jimmy, what was that?
I still can't believe my eyes. I was so in shock. I got stiff from just pure excitement of a possible new species. What was that, guys?
Jimmy, can you check on your camera and see what that was?
Yeah, let me just run that back. You see him rewinding, and then he turns it around and shows it. So it's a clearer picture, clearer briefly, as it flies through the part where the light of the camera illuminates the creature. So we get just a brief glimpse of it very clearly. And Jimmy's able to freeze frame right at that moment. And it's just very disturbing.
And as you focus on that image, what do you all decide to do now? Are you going to continue in toward the woods, or are you going to turn back, or are you going to do something else?
I think that we should really go try and save Carl, guys. Honestly, he's out there. Imagine what that thing could do to him. He's all alone.
Right.
I say that Carl's already dead.
Yeah, wherever Carl is, I doubt he's alone.
Call for him again. You have the loudest voice, Jimmy, and it worked last time when you called for him. So do you want to call for him again?
I'm going to try not to take offense to that. And then Jimmy yells out for Carl.
So, at this point, you all are now entering into the woods. Willow, why
I
don't
made
you
the
make
last
a check? You haven't made a check in a while. All right, you have a success.
Yeah.
And I do not. So, you can have full narrative control.
So I think Carl, we see him laying there, and he looks pretty much like his face is scratched up, his arms and stuff, and he's bleeding, and he's not really responding to us, but he is alive. I go and check his pulse. He is alive.
You just
So
hear him kind of it sounds almost like the breaths are kind of death rattles kind of situation. He is very labored. He looks, as you said, pretty beaten up.
Barbara runs over with the first aid kit and try to see if there's anything she can do to stop the bleeding.
All right. Make me a check.
Jimmy is just filming this whole time too, just looking for the best angle.
Benji's looking towards the sky to see if he could see the creature.
Okay, you have 2 successes. I only rolled 1 6. You have full narrative control. As Barbara tries to patch up Carl, what happens?
She's patching up Carl, and then she's asking questions to figure out what happened to him. And he talks about being attacked by some winged red-eyed monster. He said it came out of nowhere, and that, you know, we better be careful because he actually saw more than one of them.
Yeah, you've patched him up, and like it looks like these wounds, as long as like nothing further happens to him, he has a good chance of pulling through. What were we gonna say?
Can we get a break here? Yeah, like
Say that again.
We need to get out of here. We need to get inside.
Oh. He can walk, but he's going to need aid. Like he's gonna need to be like leaning on somebody. So he doesn't need to be full on carried, but he needs at least one person that he can grab onto and be led with.
Here, Carl, you can grab onto me. I know that Jimmy, he needs to keep filming.
Okay, I say we head back to the cabin to try to like not be wherever these creatures are as soon as possible.
Okay.
Sounds good to me.
You all begin making your way. As you head back, Benji, please make me a check.
All right.
You have a success. All right. I do not have any successes, so you have full narrative control. You can describe what happens as you make your way back to the cabin.
All right. So Carl and I are slowly limping our way over there, and we hear another screech, but we can't see anything in the air. We're looking around frantically, trying to see what's going on, and we notice above the lodge the creature and one other is on top of the lodge, staring at us from a distance.
Wow. All right. How are you going to try to get back in?
Barbara pulls out her shotgun, unlatches the safety, and takes aim at one of them.
Please make me a check. A normal check.
Oh, God.
Okay, you have 2 failures, but you do have 1 success, and I did not roll any successes. So, you get to narrate what happens.
So Barbara takes aim and tries to shoot at one of the creatures, and the creature's unfazed by the bullet.
Yeah.
And so it keeps flying around, and we're now scared shitless, pretty much.
Dang, sex with the toilet's clogged.
This thing is now beginning to kind of fly its way towards you. These creatures, both of them, are now coming at you. They have left the top of the cabin.
Jimmy is making a mad dash for the cabin. Try to get underneath them before they get close enough.
Make me a check.
Ooh.
Okay. You have full narrative success. Or wait, yeah, I did not roll any 6s. So you can narrate what happens.
So Jimmy just yells out, "Run!" and just full on speeds towards the cabin as fast as he can, kicks open the door, and turns around and starts filming everyone else coming through the door immediately to get that shot.
Carl kind of like collapses, falling a bit out of your grip, Benji. Geraldine rushes over and kind of like, rubs his hair and looks at him and is kind of ticking in his wounds and says, "Are you okay?" He says, "I've had better days, but I'm breathing. Thanks to Benji and the rest. What the hell was that thing?"
It may not be a
do you
Bigfoot.
What was it? What did you see?
Man, I tried to shoot at it. It didn't even do anything.
At what? What was it?
They're like
I
giant
don't know.
bird creatures.
Yeah,
It was
I tried.
this. He shows her on the film.
She takes a look and she kind of like covering her mouth, and she's like, God help us. I've heard stories of people disappearing before we finally lost everything altogether. I don't know, but I can only figure that whatever it was, it's gotta be these things, right? What are we gonna do?
Well, what about the stories that you heard? Tell us more about it.
I mean, not so much on the news. They haven't been talking about it, but Carl's got his CB radio, and he's been talking with other people around, the grounds around Big Bear, and they've been saying they've been finding people mutilated and cut up. And Carl says, Geraldine, that's enough. You don't need to be scaring our guests. She says, they got a right to know what's going on. Things are bad. Things are real bad. I mean, we got food and we can get kind of camped up here for a while, but I don't know if it's a forever solution.
You said you had a CB radio. Have you tried to call other lodges?
I'm not gonna use that.
Carl says, we're not going to be able to do that unless we get the generator back up. I'm not in good shape to try to do it. If any of you all want to give it a try, we can see if we can get it back up and reach out to see who else is out there.
Well, Carl, if you can do it, it can't be that hard. So why don't I take a look?
I'll go with you, Jimmy, this time.
He says, all right, Jimmy, it's real simple. You got this wire and you got this wire. You just got to connect them together.
Wire to wire, connect them together. Got it.
Got it. I'll try and remember if you don't. So you said, wait, one more time. Wire to wire.
Wire to wire. Put them together. Tip to tip. Wrap a bit of electrical
got
tape.
it.
And take the electrical tape. I hand you the electrical tape because I took it from Geraldine earlier.
Thank you.
Still an important question. Do we still hear them out there?
Yeah, we should probably check for them before you go out there.
Barbara, give me a roll to check and see if you hear anything out there.
Sorry, guys. Your fate is in my hands right now.
I mean,
That is, that's a complete failure. You did not even roll any ones that you can re-roll. So with that, we are going to extinguish a candle and begin sharing truths. So, candle is out. And Barbara, you rolled the failure. So you're going to establish the first truth. Here we go. The world is dark.
We're quickly losing water in the next 4 hours.
Those two creatures are not the only creatures.
there are 5 snow buggies on the side of the cabin with only quarter of a tank.
There is someone out there that you could reach on the CB radio.
As high up as we are, we can see lights below, a couple solitary lights in the distance. So someone out there has power.
The freak storm is almost here, but it just struck lightning and started a fire.
And the final truth. 1, 2, 3, and
And
we are
we
alive.
And we are alive.
Good, decent. I think that's acceptable. Jimmy, you volunteered. Benji, you're going with him to try
Yep,
to
I'm
patch
going
up
right.
the generator.
Let's be quick, Jimmy.
All right, just hold on a second. I gotta set my camera against this rock here so it's got the best angle. My audience demands perfection.
What audience?
And then-
This is the world, man.
The audience, they're out there. And he begins going to work. I assume I need to make a roll for this.
Please make me a normal check. You're going to attempt to patch up the generator. Okay, that's 2 successes.
There we go.
And I rolled I can't
Two
tell.
successes.
I rolled two
Two
successes, so I have narrative control.
Great.
So you take the wires and you roll them up with the electrical tape. As soon as you do that, though, there's a spark, and you get a little bit of a shock. It hurts a bit, but you hear the generator begin to roll back to life, and you see the lights inside of the cabin flicker back on.
And God said, "Let there be light."
Are we sure God is here?
Ooh, glad we got the lights back on. It's so bright. It's so bright out here. Wow, we could have used these earlier.
So Jimmy immediately goes and remembers to grab his camera and comes inside.
Great job, you guys.
Carl says, "Damn it, son, I gotta give you credit. You patch a fine good wire.
Thank you kindly, sir.
I keep the CB radio up in the attic. It's easier to get reception when I can hang the antenna out the window."
That's not really my thing. Anyone else know how to run one of these things?
Yeah, as a conservationist, I actually know Morse code too, so I can go check it out upstairs.
I'm pretty glad that you're able to do that because, unfortunately, it's one of those gotta pull down the ladder kind of attics, and with my leg, I could shout up to you and try to let you know if there's anything that you got questions about, but I'm not gonna be able to go up there myself.
All right, sounds good. I'll go up there. I guess just go turn it on, and we'll see if we can contact anybody.
Benji, is anyone gonna go with you?
Anybody? Any offers? Anybody want to come up?
I can go up, but like I said, those guns don't work. I don't have any other weapon. Maybe I can just use it and hit him with a gun.
Oh no, the accent is spreading. We're all gonna be country by the end of this. Carl says, "Are you mocking me?"
I am so sorry, Carl. I'm not mocking you.
So Barbara and Benji are going to go up into the attic. Do you have a light source? Because Willow has the flashlight and Jimmy has the camera light.
No, I gave Benji the flashlight
Oh,
earlier.
Benji, you have it. I'm sorry. Oh, when you guys went outside to repair the generator. Okay, so
Yep.
you go upstairs and you see kind of the cutout space in the ceiling for the attic, and you pull it down. The ladder comes down, and you head on up. So you see over kind of in the corner of the room, kind of a big desk, and it's got a cloth wrapped over it, like a sheet covering it. But that's the only thing in this room that appears it could be the CB radio. Assuming that you're going to check it out, please make me a roll.
All right. Yep, I'm gonna go check it out and see what it is.
All right, 1 success, 1 failure. And I got 2 successes.
Oh my god.
Okay, so I have narrative control. You step forward with Barbara by your side, and you uncover the sheet, and CB radio's there. And you, being that you're kind of in conservationist way of life, you have been in kind of places and talking with park rangers and things like that, so you know how to operate a CB radio. So you go ahead and you pick up the thing and flick it on, and what do you say?
Hey, we have Nature Boy 99. Is there anybody else out there that what's going on? What can we see, guys? We are over at the lodge cabin, and we were actually wondering if anybody else is out there. Can we have some help? Does anybody know anything that is going on? Has anybody seen the creatures? Please, anyone, get back to me.
There is a long moment of silence where you just hear static. And then you hear, "Hello?"
Hey, so someone, oh my god. Hey, how are you?
Hey, you say that you're out there over in the lodge. You don't happen to mean the, what is it? The Llewellyn Lodge, the bed and breakfast they got up there in the hills?
Yeah, that's exactly where we are. How'd you know?
Well, you got your lights on. That's a pretty good clue. They just came on just a minute ago. We're not super close to you. We're on the opposite side of the lake. But if you can make it out here, we'd be glad to have you. You know, we have a few survivors out here with us that have come. We have food, we have fresh water. We're pretty locked down and safe. You've been talking about those creatures. We haven't had any creature attacks. We're pretty well fended.
No creatures? Insane. Yeah, we actually have 5 snow buggies, so we can actually try and make it out there. We have a quarter of a tank each, but I think that would be just enough for us to get over there.
Let's see, if you're on the opposite side of the lake, have you guys noticed how cold it was? Like unseasonably cold, like freezing weather?
Yeah, actually, I think it's weird because this is fire season, so we noticed that it just got cold out of nowhere. We're glad that I guess it's good that you guys are experiencing that too, so it's just not over here. I guess what do we need? I wonder what we can do. It's snowing.
Well, so this might be a long shot, but if you go around the lake on those snow buggies, it might take you a while. It'll be about 8 miles to get to where we are. If you, again, long shot, but if you want to check out the lake and see if it's frozen over, that would only be about a mile, and you could probably bring the snow buggies across. I mean, I wouldn't recommend doing it with a vehicle, but with like the snow buggies, those things are pretty light. So up to you. If you want to go around the lake or straight across. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. It can be dangerous going across in those things. I'm not gonna promise that the ice isn't gonna break, but shortcut, you know, like everything else in life, it's a risk.
I have a couple people with me. Let's discuss it.
All right, just give me a call back, and you know, we'll be happy to have you for dinner. All right, I'm out. Oh, I'm sorry. What's your name?
I'm Benji.
Hi, Benji. My name's Thomas. I'm here. You know, actually, if you look out the window on the other side of the lake, there's kind of a big, well, I'm trying to be modest, but it is pretty big home out there with, we got the big floodlights out. Do you see us?
I think I do. Is there any way you guys can control that so I can confirm that it's you?
Yeah, 1 second. All right. Are you seeing them flash? And you look out, and yeah, they are flashing.
Yep, I see him. I see it. That's you. All right.
That's us.
Sounds good. I'll let the crew know that that's you. And I think I want to say that we'll probably want to go across the lake, but I want to discuss with the group before I let you know. Can you hold for a little bit?
All right. Yeah, I'll leave the channel open.
So I'm gonna go downstairs, discuss with the group. Hey guys! I reached out and there's this guy named Thomas. He said that he owns this big mansion or cabin or something like that across the lake. We have 5 buggies outside. I think we can kind of take those. You guys did notice that it is pretty cold outside. I think we can go check and see if the lake's frozen. If it's frozen, we can go across. And he said it'll only be about a mile compared to the 8 miles if we go around.
I have a quick question because you said there's 5 buggies, but there's 6 of us.
Well, I mean, Carl and Geraldine can stay here. This is their lodge.
I think we should stay together. We're better in numbers. Did you not remember what those things were?
But I mean, Carl, he's injured. Do we really want someone that's like gonna be almost a liability to us coming.
I think we should ask Carl and Geraldine if they know these people. Like, why would these people just want us to come with them? Like, use their supplies, take up their space. Why are they interested in us?
I don't know. I just believe, I just have faith that these people are going to be good people, guys. I think that, what's the harm in trying?
Guys,
We can't stay here. There's no water.
Exactly, because this girl smells. She needs a shower.
You're talking about yourself, Barbara? Or are you talking about someone else?
Yes.
Are you talking about me?
I mean, everyone smells, but only I matter, okay?
Sorry, guys. I've been trying this natural deodorant, and it hurts, but it still kind of lets out some stench.
We have
think-
to let them know, because, like,
Yeah.
where are the keys?
That is true. We could ask them. Okay, we'll let them know. And I think you're right. I think you can see two people on these buggies.
I'll go talk to him.
Okay.
You guys stay here. I'll talk to him. But start packing your stuff because we need to leave soon.
I'm gonna tell me twice.
All right, so Jimmy leaves the group and goes into the bedroom where Carl is laid up, and his wife is dabbing his forehead and, tending to his wounds. How you holding up in there, Carl?
I'm doing great.
Hey, Carl, I noticed you have those snowmobiles outside there.
Mm-hmm.
In case those creatures come back, we may need to use those for a quick getaway.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a good idea that we should have the keys. Where are they?
Damn it. Okay, the chair I'm always in front of the TV. There's a little pocket couch over next to that, and I keep them there.
All right. You two sit tight. I'm going to go just do a routine check on them, make sure they're working okay.
And
But you both should try to get some sleep.
Geraldine says, all right, yeah, if you don't mind, I'm pretty exhausted, and Carl could certainly use rest too, so we might, clunk out a little earlier this evening, but, let me know if you need anything. I'm always happy to help a guest.
All right, so Jimmy leaves the room, thanks him, goes to the cupboard, fills up his backpack with some cans of soup, and then comes back to the group and says, well, good news. I know where the keys are. He reaches over and grabs them, and they don't want to come with us. They told us to go.
Oh, so are you sure? What makes them want to stay?
Geraldine just doesn't think Carl can travel right now, and she doesn't want to risk moving him.
I mean, I was okay with leaving them in the first place, so I mean that's less work for us to do.
Did you ask
Exactly.
about Thomas?
Yeah, they know Thomas. He's a good friend of theirs, trustworthy guy, churchgoer.
Sounds good to me. I guess I can go back upstairs and contact Thomas and let him know that we're gonna head out soon.
And make it quick though, because we gotta leave soon.
Okay.
And try not to be too loud. I think Geraldine and Carl are sleeping.
All right. And I go to the radio and turn it on to see if Thomas is still there. Hey, Thomas. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. You guys coming?
Yep. We got the keys and we're actually going to be on our way. What is it? Carl and Geraldine, they're actually not going to be coming with us. They said that they knew you, and yeah, we're just gonna pretty much head on out in about maybe 30 minutes or so.
They said they knew us? Oh, huh. Yeah, it's kind of funny how you never realize how small your town is until you realize, how small it is, I guess. Yeah, so we'll be seeing you shortly, maybe in like the next couple of hours.
Yeah, we'll see you soon.
All right, cool. Well, we'll keep the lights on. And good luck. I'm out.
Thanks. 10-4. I'm out too.
All right. So, guys, let's take a short break and give people a chance to recoup a little bit and also, have our characters pack. And when we come back, we'll continue on with part 2 of 10 Candles.